So, for those of you who have been following me for quite some time now, you probably know about me. For some of those of you who have just recently been following me, the deepest pain that I've experienced is living with HIV. And as a disclaimer, when you're on medication and you take it regularly, you get down to undetectable levels, which means that when you take a test to test for it, you show up as negative. This means that you can no longer transmit the virus to anyone else sexually. And so you can imagine, when I first found out, my whole world shattered. I was devastated. I thought literally it was the end of life. I cried and cried and cried for days and days and days and just asked God, why? And so I went through a period of depression and self-medicated pain. So basically, I drank my pain. I smoked my pain. Like, I avoided my pain. I just thought it was over. So I didn't love myself. I didn't know how to love myself. And so I guess I just went with the flow of life. And what happened was I started to pay attention to signs and synchronicities around me. I knew that there was, since I was calling out to God, something outside of myself, a higher power, it started to answer me. It started to reach out to me through different signs and synchronicities. And I started to pay more attention to them. And as I went to pay more attention to them, that's when God really started to reveal who he was to me, and that he was here for me, and that he loved me still unconditionally. And so I started to just pay more attention to these synchronicities. And as I did that, I started to follow my intuition about, like, that inner voice about things. I really had to just go within and really help clean myself out. And so that was the start of it, And so what I started to do was detox my body. I started to take a whole bunch of detoxes, and as I cleaned my body out, my spirit started to feel a lot cleaner, and my mind started to be a lot clearer. And that's when I just decided to continue to follow that path of self. And God just started revealing people in my lives, like, who are no good for you, who are there just to use you, who are taking advantage of you. He started to show me my own bad habits for myself, like what I was doing wrong and the things that I was doing to keep causing all of this harm to me. And so as I continued to just follow my voice and, remove people out of my life and pour back into me, that's when I started to see a lot of change in my life. I cleaned up my diet. I stopped eating meats slowly. And, I started to eat more healthier things and more greens and fruits and vegetables, things that made me feel good. I started to do things like go on nature walks. I started to write. I started to film videos and just make videos and do things to express myself and things that I really enjoyed to make me feel better. And as I continued to do that, that's when I started to get to a point where I'm like, wait, okay, I do matter. I am loved. I am appreciated. I can do things in life. I'm not counted out. And, there's so much stigma around HIV. And it's like, even just within the LGBT community, there's a lot of stigma. But then outside of that, you're just dealing with all of those things too, and it's just a lot that you can take on. Some people end up just ending their lives because it's too much to bear. But I just wanted to share with y'all how I got through that deepest pain in my life. It wasn't easy. It took years of work. And I just want other people to know, like, you can come up out of anything, any deep pain that you think is hurting you, you can come up out of that feeling. I had to accept my truth and embrace it. And I knew that there was nothing I can do to change the things that happened in my past. So I had to change how I viewed those things. And I think that's an important message when you start to go through your pain and work through your pain, is that, okay, don't get upset and overworked because you can't change something. Just change how you view that pain. There's a whole nother higher perspective of how you can view things. And I think that also helped me. But the main important thing that I want to stress is, like, when I allowed my higher power, my God, back into my life, when I allowed God back into my life, that's when really things change. Because I was trying to do things my way and just, not really include him. But then whenever I started to include him and realize, well, he's with me at all times, protecting me, that's like when it changed my whole perspective on life. And like, I feel his unconditional love on me. And as he poured into me, he was pouring into me unconditional love. And how he did that was he showed me through books, through videos, through other people that helped motivate me and get me back to my best self. And I'm just so thankful that I included him back into my life, because honestly, without him, I would not be here. And I just want to stress, like, include God in your life, include him back into your plans, because he's the only one that actually loves you unconditionally. He will show you how to love yourself unconditionally so that you can love other people. And like, he showed me how to love myself. And this is why I stress and I always practice self-love is not selfish, it's necessary. Because as you pour into yourself, you will build up, and then it'll just overflow. And now you can give and be of service to others. And, I just want people to know, like, it is not over for you for anything that you're going through. As long as you are still breathing, and as long as you include God into your life and understand that he is here for you, waiting with open arms for you to just bring him back in, like, anything is possible. And, for a while, I didn't really want to share that. I did share it in the past, but it takes courage and it takes confidence to share those things. And I'm not ashamed of my condition. I'm not at all. And, for a while, I just got scared, like, nobody will like me, or I don't think I'll ever find love. But I really had to stop focusing on that and just focus on pouring back into me. Because when you pour back into you, you raise your own vibration, you raise your frequency. And so you will attract who you need to attract into your life. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to transform my life. And I want to say that y'all can do the same thing with your deepest pain, is that you don't have to stay subscribed to a certain way of life or a certain way of living just because of what you have went through. You can change your life, and it starts with you, literally. It starts with you, because nobody else can make those changes for you. And I just want to stress, self-love is so important, especially when you're healing your deepest pains, because self-love is going to give you that unconditional love and grace. You're going to be able to forgive yourself for the things that you've done and not be ashamed of who you are now. You're going to be able to heal properly and give yourself the patience and give yourself the time. You know, it's not going to be an easy process. You're going to still mess up along the way, but you're going to get to, eventually you will get to a point where it overflows, and now things will just happen, and you'll be in sync with yourself. You'll be in tune with yourself. And I'm just so thankful again for God, and just putting in the work to really, really heal my mind and heal my body, heal my spirit, you know, because now I can be of service to other people, you know. And I just want people to know that life is not over when you are diagnosed with anything. Life's not over when you lose a close loved one. Life is not over when you deal with something traumatic. It's just a way for you to say, it's just a way for you to actually grow and learn from those painful experiences. Painful experiences, when we go through painful experiences, you know, it's like a teacher for us to learn about who we really are. And that, you, instead of looking at that painful experience as something bad, no, take that as a opportunity to actually grow and learn something more about yourself, and say, hey, wait, it's okay to be emotional and get it out, but don't stay in that mindset. Understand that you will come up out of that darkness. As long as you embrace it and shed light on it and accept yourself for who you are, and accept, you know, the things the way that they are, and start loving on yourself no matter what condition you're in, no matter how much money you have. You know, when you really do that, that frees up so much life force energy within you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel invincible because you're giving yourself that grace. And that's how God works. He gives us that grace. He doesn't judge anyone for anything. You know, like, we are here to experience and grow from life lessons. And so I just want people to know that it is not the end. It is really not the end. And it starts with you. Self-love is definitely not selfish. It is necessary so that you can grow and pour into yourself, so that you can pour into others. You have to be your best self so that you can pour into other people. You know, you can't just give something that you don't have. You can only give from what you are and what you have. So if you develop this unconditional love for yourself, then you can develop that and pour that into other people and have that same grace for other people. And I know I've been talking for a while, so I hope people got, you know, the message out of this. I hope that y'all really enjoyed this. And I just want to share with the world, you know, that life is never over after what you may think is the worst situation that you can go through. There's still life after death. There's still life after disappointment. There's still life after depression. You know, just know that there is a higher power outside of you that knows everything that you're going through and is here to help you and love on you no matter what. So I appreciate y'all guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will definitely see y'all again on another video.